Good afternoon. It is such a great afternoon to be an Eagle and to celebrate all of these exceptional graduates. I want to personally welcome everyone to Florida Gulf Coast University. Now, all are in their places, and we are ready to begin this commemorative day. Today, sure. Today signifies one of the greatest occasions and accomplishments in the lifetime of our FGCU graduates, their families, and friends. With such pride and happiness radiating through the arena in celebration of the stunning accomplishments, we have come to expect the moment your graduate receives his or her diploma, you will be moved to a triumphant applause or some other form of jubilant expression. Although we appreciate your outward displays of excitement and your charged intensity of support, we kindly ask you that you respect the following graduate by restoring quiet by the time the next candidate's name is to be called. In addition, we also ask that you respect the dignity of the commencement ceremony by remaining civil and refraining from the use of any external form of noisemaker such as air horns, which I believe were confiscated before you came in here, whistles, cow horns, or any of those confetti cannons. The use of such devices is just plain rude and offensive, which leads to a diminished experience for those seated in proximity to you. These exercises for the 2016 spring semester, the 39th commencement ceremony at Florida Gulf Coast University, are hereby called to order.
On behalf of Florida Gulf Coast University, I welcome you to the university's 39th commencement ceremony. At this time, please remain standing for the invocation provided by Campus Minister John Roth, and please remain standing afterwards to join in the singing of our national anthem led by our vocalist, Ms. Christine Shore, and the Suncoast Brass Quintet.
Good afternoon. Our invocation this afternoon is adapted from prayers of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Bishop Desmond Tutu, and Reverend Billy Graham. Let us pray. Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. From everlasting to everlasting, you are God. Today we bless you for this generation before us, students from FGCU who are graduating this afternoon. We thank you for all that they have learned in the classrooms from faculty and staff. We thank you how they've also grown through service learning. We ask you to move them, to keep learning, to keep serving, to keep giving of themselves, to improve society and renew this world. Oh God, we thank you for the lives of great saints and prophets in the past who have revealed to us that we can stand up amidst the problems and difficulties and trials of life and not give in. We thank you for our foreparents who've given us something in the midst of darkness, of exploitation and oppression to keep going. Grant that we will go on with a proper faith and the proper determination of will so that we will be able to make a creative contribution to this world. In the midst of life's uncertainties in the days ahead, assure us of the certainty of your unchanging love. In the midst of life's inevitable disappointments and heartaches, help us to turn to you for the stability and comfort we will need. In the midst of life's temptations and the pull of our stubborn self-will, help us not to lose our way, but to have the courage to do what is right in your sight, regardless of the cost. And in the midst of our daily preoccupation and pursuits, open our eyes to the sorrows and injustices of our hurting world, and help us to respond with compassion and sacrifice to those who are friendless and in need. May our constant prayer be that of the ancient psalmist, "Teach me, O Lord, to follow your decrees, then I will keep them to the end." And may we know that you want us to care for one another as those who know that they are sisters and brothers, members of the same family, your family, the human family. Help us to beat our swords into plowshares and our spears into pruning hooks, so that we may be able to live in peace and harmony, wiping away the tears from the eyes of those who are less fortunate than ourselves. We ask you to move these graduates to be about such work, seeing their occupations as a calling to serve. Give them hope for your presence in their lives. Give them passion to be peacemakers. Grant them courage to seek justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with you. Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. From everlasting to everlasting, you are God. Amen.
Please be seated. This ceremony is patterned after a ritual which has been repeated through centuries of higher education throughout the world. The robes we wear and the symbols of the ceremony found their origins in the Middle Ages. The mace is a symbol of the authority of the university, but the spirit of commencement is modern, always new, and always focused on the future. At this time, let me introduce the university trustees and other members of our platform party. As I call your name, please rise and remain standing. I would ask that you hold your applause until all have been introduced. Chair of the FGCU Board of Trustees, Dudley Goodlett. University trustee and former board chair, Robbie Repsdorf. University trustee, student speaker, and student government president, Thildens Elnius. Interim dean of the College of Education, Dr. Ivan Banks. Keynote speaker and dean of the College of Health Professions and Social Work, Dr. Mitchell Cordova. Honorary degree recipient, Dr. Elaine Marab. Dean of Library Services, Dr. Kathleen Miller. Chair of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, Harry Casimir. Director of Alumni Relations, Kimberly Wallace. Director of Academic Advising and University Reader, Allison Bachagalupe. Academic Advisor and University Reader, Rebecca Kroger. Invocation Speaker, Reverend John Roth, United Campus Ministries. Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. J. Michael Rollo. Associate Vice President for Research and Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Tashung Yi. Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Ronald Toll. University Marshal, Faculty Senate President, and Vice Chair of the FGCU Board of Trustees, Dr. Sean Felton. Please join me in recognizing our platform guest. Thank you. Sitting in the first row before me are our college marshals. As I call your name, will you please stand to be recognized and remain standing? Dr. Russell Sabella, College of Health Professions and Social Work. Dr. Jackie Green, College of Education. Kim Raycraft Library Services. Please join me in recognizing our distinguished marshals. Thank you. I would like to recognize retired President Roy McTarnigan and his lovely wife, Beverly, who are with us today. Dr. McTarnigan is the founding president of Florida Gulf Coast University. Roy, Beverly, glad y'all could be here. Additionally, I would like to thank the many members of the university's foundation board and friends of the university here with us today. Because there are so many here, I won't be able to introduce each of you, but I welcome you and ask that you raise your hand so we may recognize you as well. Now I would like to introduce the university's provost and vice president for academic affairs, Dr. Ronald Toll.
It is a great honor for me to serve this institution as Chief Academic Officer and to be a part of this special ceremony today. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the President of the Faculty Senate, Vice Chair of the FGCU Board of Trustees, and University Marshal, Dr. Sean Felton.
Thank you, Dr. Toll. Welcome again, everyone, to the 39th commencement ceremony at Florida Gulf Coast University. If you are following along with your program, I'm the first of 4 speeches you will hear today, so my goal is for you to still be on the edge of your seat and anticipating what I'm going to say instead of on the edge of your seat trying to run towards the exit of the arena. But I'll try to be brief because I know you have family to see, Instagram pictures to post, most likely the selfie you're about to take with President Bradshaw, and I'm sure messages to tweet. I think it was hashtag FGCU 2016 commencement. But in all seriousness, fellow platform party members, distinguished guests, outstanding faculty, parents, families, and most especially you, our Florida Gulf Coast University graduates, I bring you greetings and congratulations on completing your degree programs on behalf of all my incredible colleagues, the FGCU faculty. Before I move too much further, I'd like to first thank you and your families for trusting all of us with the responsibility of your education. You have a choice with your education, and you chose us. Maybe it was for the small class size, maybe it was because of that special program, maybe it was because of a beach in the middle of campus. But whatever the case may be, it was and is a privilege for my colleagues and I to do what we do each day in preparing each of you for your career. Honestly, though, I hope we've done our job and met your requirement. Your ever-elusive future is now yours, and you're just getting started. But more importantly, with all of us continuing to make trips around the sun, we will all sooner rather than later be relying on your acquired expertise, be it for financial planning, health care, public service, educating our loved ones, or entertaining us through a Bach overture. Accepting this, I'm just hopeful that any grudges over poor grades, delayed assignment feedback, or not allowing a late assignment has been settled, and you do not find revenge humorous. Let's face it, you're all here today. It couldn't have been that bad. Your experiences, though, while attending FGCU are unprecedented and have been filled and enriched by the dedicated, brilliant faculty members, several who are with us today, and who you will be able to interact with once you receive your diplomas. Your faculty have basked in your successes, challenged you to reach potentials that were originally unknown to you, supported you during times when life stresses came along, and further assisted you in every endeavor for you to reach this day. These events today are moments that epitomize why we do what we do. Thank you for having us along for the ride over the past 4, 5, and hopefully not more than 6 years. I have had the privilege of representing our FGCU faculty by speaking at these proceedings a few times. I've tried to work in many themes. Typically, they fail miserably. But lucky for you, you're about to witness me trying to redeem myself. In all honesty, I'm just glad I do not have to read all your names. I've done that once before, and trust me, it wasn't that pretty. That's probably why I haven't been asked to do it again. So special thanks to Allison and Becky reading the names today. Nevertheless, each time that I begin to write a speech, it's important to try and find something that will capture what this day entails for you, your families, and the faculty I represent. So here it goes. Yes, we know the impact of the degree is unquantifiable. I've often referred to this as a passport that never expires. Your conferring of your degree today provides you with several opportunities that still do not exist for many. For example, you've been trained in your discipline, but moreover, you've been equipped with skills that will allow you to adapt to an ever-changing workforce. You have been prepared for careers. Your degree further serves as membership to a very elusive group of individuals. Those of you completing your baccalaureate degrees, now among the top 30% of Americans, the master's degrees, top 8%, and finally, those in the front rows here receiving your doctorate degree, you're now among the top 3% of Americans. What a very select group to belong to. Sure. Well, it's time to bring out more of the academic in me. Statistics also suggest that you will be better members of society, such as increasing civic responsibility by voting in elections and volunteering in community agencies. You'll be more open to diversity issues and have a healthier life. All that your degree represents is extremely important, which ultimately leads to a great career. But there are a few intangibles I want to discuss with you. I've placed them in a to-do list. As with most to-do lists, they never seem completed. So think about these 5 items as you begin to tackle the world. To-do list item 1, thank the people that have impacted your life and assisted you to this point. It may not be right after the ceremony, but when the time is right, say thanks. We all have people that have made impressionable impacts, so take a moment when you see them and say thanks. Find that special way to recognize them. To-do list item 2, protect who you are. I was in a local watering hole down in Key West when I read on the back of a cup this local establishment's motto. It read, "Once you lose your reputation, you can live quite freely." This might be a great motto to follow if you want to live out a Jimmy Buffett song in some island oasis or escapism, but not the advice you need for your careers. Remember, no matter how many degrees you have, once you lose your reputation or become untrustworthy, it is lost, and you can never recover. So to-do list number 2, protect who you are, protect your integrity. It will prove to be more important than you might realize. In that spirit, and this, trust me, is your last assignment here from an FGCU faculty member, it might be a great time for you to clean up your social media accounts and ensure appropriate private settings are in place before you head out into your ever-elusive future. To-do list number 3, do not take shortcuts to success. Success requires hard work, which is exampled by all of you completing your degrees. I think the legendary coach Vince Lombardi said it best when he posited, "You don't do things right once in a while, you do them right all the time." Be right in what you do each day. It will make a difference, and you will never need to question what you did if it was in the best interest of the cause you were serving. Just do what is right. To-do list number 4, find balance in your professional and personal lives. Remember the little things and take time to slow down and find a balance between your career, your family, and all else that's important to you. Continuously to strive for this compromise, you'll be much happier. Learn the word no and find your time. Lastly, and to-do list item number 5, continue to be a lifelong learner. Socrates indicated, education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. So leave here today completely educated in your discipline and ready for the start of your career, but continue to add opportunities for learning. Attain an advanced degree, study literature, learn a new hobby, and don't forget to travel. So much can be learned, so never stop. But before Suncoast Brass starts to play the song Too Long, or I delay the start of the last commencement ceremony today, let me conclude this afternoon with one final piece of personal advice. Never underestimate the small acts of kindness. Say hello to a colleague in the morning, open a door for someone, and ask how your neighbor's doing. These small acts of kindness make everyone feel better. Once again, my colleagues, our FGCU faculty and I congratulate you. We wish you well in all of your endeavors, and we are assured that all of you will be excellent representatives of our FGCU family. You now see windows where there once were doors. You have made us proud, and we anticipate all of your successes. You are the FGCU effect. Congratulations, and go Eagles.
Thank you, Dr. Felton. It is now my pleasure to introduce our Spring 2016 student speaker, President of the Student Government and University Trustee, Mr. Thielden's Elnius. Mr. Elnius started at FGCU in the fall of 2012 and is now a junior majoring in computer information systems. T, as we call him, was born in La Gonave, Haiti, and grew up in Central Florida. He attended Auburndale High School prior to starting here at FGCU. T is involved in several student organizations in addition to student government, including the Haitian Student Organization, the Multicultural Ambassador Program, and the Event Planning Club. He is a determined and dedicated student and values the importance of building strong, lasting relationships. Mr. Elnius is performing admirably in his role as student government president and as a university trustee. It is my great pleasure to introduce Mr. Thielden's Elnius.
Good afternoon. Graduates, you made it. You have ventured to new heights, and now you start new beginnings. Today will be one of the biggest moments of your lives. I was once told that education should be one's greatest investment, and today, for all of you, that comes full circle. Over the years, you've invested a lot of time, a lot of money, thoughts, and probably tons of tears to reach this moment. Today is truly your day. As Dr. Seuss mentioned when you were younger, you have the brains in your head, you have the feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own now, and you know what you know, and you are the person who'll decide where to go. Individually, all of you have gained the skills and the necessary requirements to take any company, any organization, or any venture in your life into different unfamiliar directions. Life is a learning experience. During your short time on campus, you've learned a lot, and your learning will not end as this chapter of your life closes. You're on your way. You'll start to see great things in your life. It's your turn to spread your wings and really soar with the eagles that have come before you. I ask you, as Dr. Felton asked you earlier, to remember and reflect on what FGCU has given you and the relationships you've made. Take some time. Thank your mentors. Thank your professors, classmates, and especially the family members that have pushed you and helped you all become who you are today. I leave you with some words from Maya Angelou. You can only become truly accomplished at something you love. Don't make money your goal. Instead, pursue the things you love doing, and then do them so well that people can't take their eyes off you. Class of 2016, congratulations. Thank you. Go Eagles.
Thanks, T. Notice that you are wearing the 2016 gold tassel, which symbolizes your commitment to Florida Gulf Coast University's foundation and help support the university's greatest needs. Graduates, for those of you who are also wearing a gold tassel, please know that you just made your first step in your philanthropic journey. Thank you for your support. It is now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Dean Mitchell Cordova. Dr. Cordova joined Florida Gulf Coast University as professor and dean of the College of Health Professions and Social Work in July of 2011. Prior to his arrival at FGCU, Dr. Cordova served as professor and chairperson of the Department of Kinesiology at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte for 6 years. Additionally, he also served as director of the Biodynamics Research Laboratory and was research faculty member within the Center of Biomedical Engineering Systems at UNC Charlotte. Before joining the faculty at UNC Charlotte in fall of 2005, Dr. Cordova was on faculty at Indiana State University for 8 years, in which he served in many capacities, including department chair, director of the master's and PhD programs in athletic training and sports medicine, and director of the Sports Injury Research Laboratory. Dr. Cordova is a board-certified athletic trainer and is a fellow of the American College of Sports Medicine and the National Athletic Trainers Association. He is also a member of the Society of Neuroscience. In 2000, Dr. Cordova was recipient of the NATA Research and Education Foundation's New Investigator Research Award, and in 2003, he was honored by Indiana State University in receiving the Theodore Dreiser Distinguished Research Award. In 2014, Dr. Cordova was a recipient of the Most Distinguished Athletic Trainer Award from the National Athletic Trainers Association. Dr. Cordova received his BS degree in athletic training from East Stroudsburg University, his master's degree in athletic training from Indiana State University, and his Doctor of Philosophy degree in biomechanics from the University of Toledo. Please welcome Dean Mitch Cordova.
President Bradshaw, members of the Board of Trustees, platform party, distinguished guests, esteemed faculty and staff, family, friends, and most of all, students of the class of 2016. It is my distinct honor and privilege to stand before you. Class of 2016, congratulations to all of you. You should be very, very proud of yourselves for accomplishing this goal. I'm certain you must all be excited to get your hands on your new diplomas and run out into the world, but not so fast. As cartoonist Gary Trudeau said, commencement speeches were invented largely in the belief that outgoing college students should never be released into the world until they have been properly sedated. Today, that's where I come in as your commencement speaker, and I'll try not to sedate you so badly. I appreciate the opportunity to share this moment and a small piece of time with you here at FGCU. Between bouncing off of some of you in Marab Hall or weaving around you in Merwin Hall, I've had the privilege of seeing you grow, mature, and prosper. At FGCU, every interaction I've had with you has been meaningful, heartfelt, and filled with genuine interest. Thank you for your curiosity and your desire to learn. And thank you for the vibrancy that you've brought to our university. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your life and preparing you for what comes next. To the parents and loved ones of those graduating and earning diplomas today, congratulations to you. You should know that your support through this process has made an enormous impact. I'm sure you are very proud of your graduates as they end their experiences at FGCU and begin to develop new ones, whether it be a new job, graduate school, or being promoted in their current position. Be assured that their experiences, the FGCU effect, has prepared them to rise to their new challenges and to meet their new goals. Graduates, this is a huge moment for you all, and I mean huge. You all must have 1,000 thoughts racing through your mind right now, like, what will graduating from FGCU do for me? Where do I go from here? And perhaps the biggest of them, and simply, what now? Overwhelming? Perhaps a little. Insurmountable? Absolutely not. As you begin your journey in an attempt to answer these questions, it's easy to look at today as the end, the culmination of at least 4 years of hard work, thousands of study hours, hundreds of exams, papers, and assignments, the closing of your time at Florida Gulf Coast University. But let us remember that commencement is just the beginning. To commence is to start, not to finish. For most of you, you'll be earning your first degree and embarking upon a new chapter in your life, launching your professional career. Others of you are earning an advanced degree today, which will propel you further into your current position and profession. Either way, the degree you have earned signifies you've met a standard, developed competencies, and proficiencies. It is simply your compass that will point you in the right direction, or in some cases, confirm your current position in life. Your next challenge is to how to use and implement your new educational tools. What you choose to do with your degree to make your family, your community, your profession, your university, your world a better place than it was prior to your arrival is the challenge, and paradoxically, your opportunity. I hope you will approach this challenge and opportunity with the first characteristic of an eagle: energy. Energy is the capacity to do work. Without it, you won't have the strength or the vitality to carry out your new role as a nurse, a school teacher, a physical therapist, a school counselor, an athletic trainer, a principal, a social worker, an occupational therapist, a healthcare administrator, a health educator, or a medical laboratory scientist. Constantly seek to keep your energy sources fulfilled, as you will be fulfilled in everything you do. As you prepare to leave Florida Gulf Coast University, remember, it's important to live in the moment. Don't wait for things to happen. Be a part of making them happen. You don't have to wait to make an impact. And that brings us to the next key quality of being an eagle: ambition. Your desire to achieve higher professional and personal goals for yourself should never waver and will only happen if you can maintain and sustain your hard work and determination. However, if your goals only involve yourself, then they aren't big enough, because as health professionals and educators, you will always be impacting the lives of so many around you: students, patients, and clients. You have the tools, the skills, the knowledge, and the know-how to make change starting today. You might be asking yourselves, why is he asking me to be a change agent now, when I haven't even left FGCU yet? Well, that's a fair question. Establishing yourself in your chosen profession among your peers needs to start immediately. You should not underestimate the direct impact and successes you can have in a world that's rapidly changing around us. In a world that is unfortunately infiltrated and unnecessarily dominated by social media, remember, your successes in life are not measured by the number of likes, retweets, views, or how viral your foolish acts are. Rather, success is measured by the positive impact you make on people's lives as an educator and health professional. By graduating from FGCU today, you are set up for success. Which brings us to the third characteristic of an eagle I want you to embrace: generosity. The sharing of your time and talents with others to make the world a better place. As educators and health professionals, we have big hearts. Be generous of your time in helping people learn and be healthier. Remain generous to yourself, as it's easy to give so much to others that you forget the importance of also taking care of yourself. It's not the diploma or the degree you have earned today, or the institution from which it came, that counts. It's about what you've learned along the way and what you plan to do with the educational experiences you have received. Remain a student for life, and you will acquire another key characteristic of what it means to be an eagle: learning. As educators and health professionals, we will always be lifelong learners. Your continued quest for new knowledge will be essential in your development and continued advancement within your chosen field. Life is not all just about getting a job. It's about developing into a professional who can establish a long, sustainable, and impactful career. To establish yourself as a professional, you must continue to learn, you must apply your new knowledge, you must disseminate it or teach it to others. Never stop learning. So, now that you've gone from being an eaglet to an Eagle alumnus, these are really exciting times for you. Which leads us to the final quality of an eagle: enthusiasm. Be excited about what you've accomplished today. but more importantly, be enthusiastic about who you can and will become if you put your mind to it. Your enthusiasm will drive you when other aspects in your life may not want to. As Thomas Jefferson said, our greatest happiness does not depend on the condition of life in which chance has placed us, but is always a result of good conscience, good health, occupation, and freedom in all just pursuits. The world we live in presents many exciting opportunities. Pursue them vigorously and seize them. As graduates of FGCU, you have learned the importance of being community-focused and engaged in service learning that has continued to help define you as a person. Never forget where you came from, nor forget who helped get you there, as fulfilling a strong sense of community in your lives will enrich them that much more. So remember, energy, ambition, generosity, learning, and enthusiasm. And know that you will always be an FGCU Eagle. Let us commence.
Thank you, Dean Cordova. It is my pleasure today to confer on Dr. Elaine Nickpon Marab the degree of Doctor of Science, Scientia Doctor Honoris Causa, an honor only conferred 6 times in FGCU history. Dr. Marab, a gifted teacher and academic, earned her Bachelor's of Science degree in nursing from Fitchburg State College, earned her Bachelor of Science degree from Westfield State College, and earned a master's degree in biological science and gerontological nursing from the University of Massachusetts, Amherst, where she also earned a PhD degree in zoology. Early in her career, she served as an instructor of biology at Springfield College and then served as a professor of anatomy and physiology at Holyoke Community College in Massachusetts for 25 years, where she currently holds the title of Professor Emeritus. Dr. Marab has dedicated her professional career to providing an exemplary learning environment, helping tens of thousands of students learn and grow through the courses she has instructed. The 13 anatomy and physiology textbooks she has authored, currently in use by more than 1,000 institutions of higher education, and her philanthropic endeavors are exceptional. She has given generously to provide opportunities for students to further their education through scholarships at the Holyoke Community College, research awards which promote undergraduate science research at Mount Holyoke College, and scholarships and renovation of a campus biology laboratory at the University of Massachusetts. Her generosity to Florida Gulf Coast University continues to support academic health programs and student scholarships. The university recognized Dr. Marab for her gift in 2012 by naming its new College of Health Professions and Social Work building Marab Hall. Dr. Marab is retired from active classroom teaching and presently focuses on the authorial aspects of her publications. I wish to offer our deepest thanks to Dr. Marab on behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of FGCU and for enriching the lives of the entire community. Dr. Elaine Nickpon Marab, would you please step forward? Dr. Marab will be receiving the following citation. Whereas Florida Gulf Coast University is a public comprehensive institution of higher education in Southwest Florida with a mission of education, research, and service, And whereas Florida Gulf Coast University confers its highest academic recognition, honorary doctoral degree, to individuals who have made outstanding contributions to the public good, and whereas Dr. Elaine Nickpon Marab has distinguished herself in the scientific field as a preeminent author of internationally renowned anatomy and physiology textbooks and laboratory manuals currently in use by more than 1,000 institutions of higher learning. And whereas Dr. Elaine Nickpon Marab has dedicated her professional career to providing an exemplary learning environment, helping tens of thousands of college students learn and grow through the courses she has instructed. And whereas Dr. Elaine Nickpon Marab has given generously to provide opportunities for students to further their education through scholarships and first-class undergraduate science research. And whereas Dr. Elaine Nickpon Marab is widely recognized for a life well lived through her scholarship, her teaching, and her philanthropy for the benefit of her fellow citizens. And in doing so, has established a lasting legacy of great vision and generosity. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Florida Gulf Coast University confers on Dr. Elaine Nickpon Marab the degree Doctor of Science, Scientia, Doctor Honoris Causa, with all the attendant rights and privileges thereof, duly conferred this first day of May in the year 2016.
Degrees will now be conferred. At FGCU, we award a wide variety of advanced degrees that provide postgraduate education in an array of disciplines. Indeed, here at FGCU, we currently offer 2 doctoral degrees and over 30 courses of study leading to master's degrees. We award the Doctor of Physical Therapy, the Doctor of Education, and the following master's degrees: Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, Master of Public Administration, Master of Science, Master of Science in Nursing, and Master of Social Work. We are pleased that 28 doctoral and 104 master's degrees are being awarded by FGCU at this afternoon's commencement. Some of those eligible to receive recognition at today's ceremony have already started their new careers and unfortunately are unable to be in attendance with us today. Will all doctor and master's candidates please rise for the conferral of your degrees?
By the authority vested in me by the Florida Board of Governors and the Florida Gulf Coast University Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the doctor or master's degree you have earned with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Candidates, please turn your tassels from right to left. Congratulations. You may be seated.
The College Marshal for Education will now escort the Doctor in Education student, followed by the College Marshal for Health Professions and social work who will escort the Doctor in Physical Therapy degree recipients. These students will be accompanied by their research committee chairs to the front of the stage. As it is typical with institutions of higher education, the doctoral students will be hooded on stage. The master's students will follow the doctoral students after all doctoral students are hooded. The university reader, Ms. Allison Bacigalupi, will introduce the individual doctoral graduates and their committee chairs. Ms. Rebecca Kroger will join as a university reader for the master's portion of the ceremony. We will be calling each graduate to the front of the floor to be recognized. Let me say a word to our guests today. I ask for your cooperation. Please contain your applause and cheers for our graduates until all have crossed the platform to earn their distinction as FGCU graduates. Then we will applaud their accomplishments collectively.
Hooding the following Doctor of Education student will be their committee chair, Elia Vasquez Montilla. Elaine Hosdick. Hooding the following Doctor of Physical Therapy student will be their committee chair, Dr. Ari Van Dunn. Curtis Caldwell. Scott Liederman. Gregory Robron. Brandon Smith. Thomas Zeller. Hooding the following Doctor of Physical Therapy student will be their committee chair, Dr. Ellen Donald. Morgan Hines. Amber Miller. Kiara Oakes. Hooding the following Doctor of Physical Therapy student will be their committee chair, Dr. Renee Jeffries-Heil. Richard White. Hooding the following Doctor of Physical Therapy student will be their committee chair, Dr. Eric Seamus. Allison Baskin. Caroline Kalachi. Ryan Hickey. Virginia Thistle. Alexander Wan. Hooding the following Doctor of Physical Therapy student will be their committee chair, Dr. Kathy Swanick. Heather Bodine. Paul Kirk. Matthew Smith. Hooding the following Doctor of Physical Therapy student will be their committee chair, Professor Werner Swanson. Allison Jocelyn. Putting the following Doctor of Physical Therapy students will be their committee chair, Dr. Jason Craddock. Rachel Passarella. Derek Rasmussen. Putting the following Doctor of Physical Therapy student will be their committee chair, Dr. Van Dunn. Marissa Hansen. Corey Pickens. Brittany Zellers. Putting the following Doctor of Physical Therapy students will be their committee chair, Dr. Molly Vengler. Reginald Bastian. Kelly Hermes.
Now we will award the master's degrees, beginning with the College of Health Professions and Social Work. Peg Frock. Robert Jeff Davis.
No middle name.
Michael Hood. Brittany Simone Jones. Heather Tolley. Bridget Lacombe. Megan Stark. Paige Walnevitz. Caitlin Crawford. Yvette Del Castillo. Heidi Levan. Eric Ark. Andrew Conrad. Derek Bush. Vincent Wright. Radhika Patel. Daniel Rivera. Aletha Hoff. Emma Malloy. Allison Neesmith. Amanda Bieber. Megan Johnston. Catherine Warren. Brittany Barnes. Erica Harvitt. Kristen Hubble. Sarah Frederick. Jamie Schooneman. Elena Stitley. Emily Newald. Ryan Filbert. B. Kirby Shepard. Kyla Burnett, Darshell Dean, Angelo Amorisano, Christian Palermo, Lauren Favorito, Jessica Tata, Ginger Maddox, Shayna Stevens, Holly Daniels, Danielle Vizone, Samantha Dixon, Jessica Goodall, Chelsea Roseberry, Marielle Tamey, Christine Duong-Sori, Jimena Minucci, Judith Albert, Vanessa Castro, Daimadi Perez, Tatiana Salinas, Carrie Callahan, Iris Grimaldi, Samantha Williams, Whitney Knight, Angela Frink, Mallory Reynoso, Jamal Watkins, and now from the College of Education, Morgan Taylor, Vivian Gomez, Rachel Seimer, Kersey Valerio, Hillary Regnart, Megan Delzell, Paula Davis, Lucero Bedola, Francesca Navarro, Emily Johnson, Jamie Sidisky, Leslie Cornwell, Tabitha Burke, Jennifer Lee Hendry, Justin Champagne, Nicole Lemmy, Claire Gruey, Samantha George,
Here at FGCU, we have a tradition of our faculty greeting our newest graduates. The faculty of each college rise and move to a receiving area at the back of the arena as their students from each respective college cross the stage. We believe this tradition gives our students a chance to convene with their faculty one last time, the faculty who have supported them through their years of education. Will the new FGCU Doctor and Master's graduates please rise? President Bradshaw, Platform Party, faculty, family, and guests, please join with me in congratulating our newest doctor and master's degree recipients. Please be seated. We now come to the conferring of the bachelor's degrees. At FGCU, we award a wide variety of bachelor's degrees that provide education in an array of disciplines. Here at FGCU, we offer over 50 courses of study leading to the bachelor's, and we award the following baccalaureate degrees: Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Bachelor of Social Work, and Bachelor of Music Education. We are pleased that 360 bachelor's degrees are being conferred by FGCU at this afternoon's commencement. Some of those eligible to receive recognition at today's ceremony have already started their careers and unfortunately are unable to be with us here this afternoon. Will all bachelor's candidates please rise for the conferral of your degrees?
By the authority vested in me by the Florida Board of Governors and the Florida Gulf Coast University Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree you have earned with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Candidates, please turn your tassels from right to left. Congratulations! You may be seated.
The college marshals will now escort the bachelor's recipients to the front of the stage by college, beginning with the College of Education. The university readers, Allison Bacigalupi and Rebecca Kroger, will introduce individual graduates.
Christy Marks. Amanda Henriquez.
Hegemeyer.
Brandy Hegemeyer. Christina Rodriguez. Christella Liberal. Kyara Acuff. Sydney Kruszewski. Melissa Zaire. Catherine Shinham. Danette Greaves. Miranda Chateau. Jennifer Gaines. Elizabeth Krotov. Michaela McDonald. Caitlin Jean Orlandi. Shannon Pickett. Elise Griffin. Rachel Cormiss. Callie Deerstein. Alethea Kilbasa. Kayla Zapata. Miranda Gagliardi. Shannon Garrett. Rochelle Dewar. Nicole Solomon. Kyle Fleming. Sierra Kreider. Leah Polieski. Sean O'Grady. Molly Osgood. Shauna Puterbach. Logan Wachtel. Caitlin Morris. Lindsay Iliopoulos. Anna Osorio. Lacey Burlew. Rachel Delaney. Nicole Williams. Jessica Schaffer. Chelsea Gallegos. Jessica Nations. Jonna Smoliker. Amber Emerson. Leah Bell. Kirsten Morris. Sarah Incorvia. Stacy Hells. Heather Helmerick. Taylor Galarno. Bryn Morrow. Brianna Logano. Diula Dominique. Louisa Cruz. Joseph Sinnott. Robin Bowers. Jennifer Nieves Moyet. Megan Martin. Sierra Kamel. Andrea Voinovich. Erica Weidenmiller. Jamie Caperton. Christina McLaughlin. Rachel Zipnick. Amanda Jacobson. Connor McLean. Stephanie Schaefer. Ariana Menendez. Ashley Chamberlain. Danielle Christie. Katie Schrain. Kellyanne Erskine. Megan Whitney. Allison Fry. Catherine James. Samantha Blair. Jamie Blair. Serena Benner. Eric Cohen. Brenna Patrick. Lindsay King. Meredith Johnson. Stephanie Leotard. Carly Gomes. Samantha Connors. Travis Colford. Elizabeth Harmon. Bobby Wendell. Zachary Wheeler. Joseph Gonzalez. Stacy Colon. Emma Blackwell. Nicole Limay.
Maldonado.
Nancy Maldonado.
Pascal.
Ashley Pascal. Abigail Jevons. Maureen Bingham.
Dixie Beth Villaraga.
Dixie Beth Villaraga. Kristen Stout. Kamal Deniziri. Angela Zarili. Rachel Goodwin. Nicholas Coots. Scott Carnavale. Katie Ostrander. Caitlin Graff. Claudia Giraldo. Shandez Baker. Anna Abarca.
Minnie.
Chelsea Minig. Taylor Hopper. Eunice Paul. Olivia Eakin. Shelby Jones. Brooke Solano. Miranda Tipton.
And now the graduates from the College of Health Professions and Social Work. Amanda Tiainen. Jennifer Kinney. Gabrielle Pfeffer. Tiffany Marrero. Patricia Talaba. Victoria Hopkins. Katerina Albino. Mary Ninesling. Alyssa Gingersek. Taylor Montanari. Rachel Sathoff. Molly Stanich. Allison Bennett. Melissa Bierman. Brittany Rosa. Haley Hafer. Lauren Ward. Ariana Rodriguez. Eric Arsenault. Otto Yasko. Brian Marler. Eric Mugerfeld. Eileen Kellner. Lauren Griffin. Taylor Kramer. Benjamin Rua. Erica Rodriguez. Caitlin Posey. Sheridan Castor. Allison Stevens. McKenna Bachman. Diana Acosta. Tatum Jesmer.
Hold up a second.
Oh.
Dr. McFarland. All right, we'll see when you can go again.
Jordan Pike. Mahesh Jagaya. Hannah Sacco. Nicole Casadona. John Schulte. Jordan Mensch. Jillian Baranski. Mackenzie Riard. Brianda Martinez. Tony Peterson. Sean Blatcher. Taylor Kowalski. Anthony Rivero. Rachel Bubel. Julia Mancini. Michael Halmos. Vincent Chen. Karen Chen. Brooke Perna. Jason Young. Ryan Chase. Tyler Rees. Jesse Lapiana. Matthew Cunningham. Lucio Ojeda. William Poland. Carrie Baker. Bethany Morell. Taylor Gradigan. Matthew Knapp. Kyle Yencho. Eric Wilcox. Keone Felipe. Jess Wagner. Jennifer McGrady. Emily Withington. Tiffany Walker. Jordan Mosley. Callie Harris Flores. Sarah Dewis. Scott Bradley. Jeremy Kapner. Heather Horn. Erica Case. Samantha Elias. Haley Katz. Kate McLaughlin. Sarah McKinstry. Ashley Monahan. Janelle Perez. Catherine Schroeder. Jade Quintier. Jessica Kirchman. Stacy Vulo. Jennifer Huzin. Natalie Vappel. Shane Abreu. Laura Reyes. Mariana Velasquez. Miranda Meyer. Taylor Crowell. Regan Lee. Elizabeth Sabig. Sarah Bailey King. Jamie Holmes. Catherine Dyson. Kristen Hansen. Aura Blaze. Christina Acosta. Jessica Caraballo. Marissa Hall. Samantha Dunn. Barbara Gallardo. Sarah Waugh. Erica Herrera. Rebecca Wallishauser. Courtney Marshall. Katie Brim. Michaela Miskin. Aaron Alcorn. Evan Laudermoser. Cortland Bernard. Garrett Mills. Christopher Trapp. Brandon Solzener. Prichelle Nicole Morrison. Julissa Cuthbert. Tierra Catalano. Molly O'Donnell. Danielle Durango. Kayla De Palma. Lori Eels. Kimberly Smith. Marissa Russo. Nicholas Bologna. Brittany Dudley. Marisol Espinoza. Laura Bellevue. Sabrina Torigno. Emily Metz. Dylan Waxler. Smith Ty. Amy Chu. Stephen Oliveri. Christopher Cruz. Stephanie Nelson. Philip Garrettson. Eric Wortman. Amanda Irwin. Mackenzie Cook. Brittany Bancroft. Melissa King. Paige Biggio. Muniel Mulateo. Kelly Sizemore. David Guthrie Gonzalez. Mark Ing. Jonathan Willoughby. Gabriela Rivera. Ashley Dino. Caitlin Poozer. Nicole Vogkamp. Letitia Gilchrist. Kai Mackenzie Harris. Amber Scoop. Jennifer Jackson. Paula Gay Dunkley. Dayami Pena. Alex Tabler. Shernice White. Jean Henry. Jean DeSouza. Nasha Etienne. Andrea Gutierrez. Rosemary Chambers. John Mark Sannon. Stephanie Degazone. Sadluni Burin, Muzan. Sally Pham. Heather Pearl. Jessica Pimentel. Janelle Portuando. Sheila Cazares. Sarah Carrillo. Robin Griffin. Kimberly Stark. Allison Burnett. Hannah Hitt. Lindsay Tussey. Andrea Perez. Taryn Burns. April Cordonier. Deanna Martineau. Jennifer Baker. Rachel Garneau. Jillian Smith. Abby Young. Laura Dennis. Marilee Vega. Diana Abalo. Dylan Thomas. Cassandra Durilis. Shakira Williams. Shamika Camel. Shanique Brown. Ebony Martin. Priscilla Brown.
Will the new FGCU Bachelor's graduates please rise? President Bradshaw, platform party, faculty, family, and guests, please join me in congratulating our graduates. Please be seated. Among our graduates receiving bachelor's degrees today are some of FGCU's finest students. These students who have achieved the highest academic honors are designated by the wearing of green and blue honor cords. Please stand and remain standing as I call your honors designation. Undergraduate students who have maintained a cumulative GPA of 3.9 or higher have received the highest honors designation of summa cum laude. Please stand. Undergraduate students who have maintained a cumulative GPA of 3.71 to 3.89 have received the honors designation of magna cum laude. Please stand. Undergraduate students who have maintained a cumulative GPA of 3.5 to 3.7 have received the honors designation of cum laude. Please stand. Honors graduates, we commend you on your superlative academic achievement. Please be seated. Additionally, the red, white, and blue honor cords that you may observe some of our graduates wearing signify those who have performed great service to this great country, and we wish to thank them also as they graduate. Thank you for your dedicated service to this great nation.
Graduates, I congratulate you on your accomplishment and wish you continued success. You have worked hard and succeeded in your academic endeavors. On your behalf, let me thank our outstanding FGCU faculty and staff members who have provided you not only instruction, but also their wise guidance and enthusiastic support. Y'all are the best. Our university is truly fortunate to have such a remarkable group of faculty and staff respected by their students, their peers, and the greater community. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Harry Casimir, class of 2005, and chair of the FGCU Alumni Association Board of Directors. Harry?
Thank you, President Bachelor. It is an honor to be here to celebrate the graduating class of 2016. Graduates, I would like to welcome you all as the newest alumni of Florida Gulf Coast University. And if there's any advice I can offer, it is this. Remember this moment. This institution that instilled knowledge in you, along with great social and civic responsibility, ideals for sustainability. Take a look around you. The friends and mentors you have gained. FGCU give you a start, pushing you down the road to limitless possibilities. Remember, no matter where you go from here, FGCU will always be the common intersection in our lives. Today, you join an alumni family of more than 22,000 graduates worldwide, and I challenge you to stay connected to your FGCU family no matter where your road takes you. You can do that by becoming an involved and engaged graduate. Volunteer in your colleges and attend Alumni Association events, and share your accomplishments with the university. Give back when you can, but more importantly, become an active lifetime member of the Alumni Association. That is how you stay connected to your FGCU family. I'm looking forward to seeing you soaring like an eagle. Once again, congratulations, class of 2016, and welcome to the FGCU alumni family. Go Eagles!
Thank you, Harry. At this time, will the graduates please rise and give a round of applause in appreciation of those that supported you through the educational process, your parents, family, and friends. And also, please extend a round of appreciation, of applause of appreciation for the faculty who also supported you through your educational endeavors. Graduates. Please remain standing. And now will the audience please rise and join our vocalists, Miss Christy Shore and the Suncoast Brass Quintet, in singing the first verse of the alma mater. The printed words can be found on page 38 of your program. Graduates, in closing, I encourage you to stay connected to your university as proud alumni who represent the very best of this institution. You, our success stories, are our best ambassadors. Your achievements, service to others, and loyalty will contribute to the greatness of Florida Gulf Coast University. You have our best wishes for success and happiness throughout your lives. Please remain standing for the recessional and remain in your place until all graduates have exited the floor. Graduates, staff ushers will direct you to join the recessional. Guests, please wait until the students and faculty have left the arena floor before carefully exiting your cells. Please meet your graduates in the lobby or in the plaza area. My last 4 words: walk good, go Eagles.